Hello, and welcome to the Autonomous Space Project. In this video, we will be doing an overview of capital enterprise ships, explaining their types, purpose, and how society aboard the ships are structured. A capital enterprise ship is like a massive traveling space fortress that permanently houses and is home to a large population. There are three classes based on the population size they can hold. Nova class, which has a carrying capacity of up to 300,000 people, Proto class, which its carrying capacity is 450,000, and Arc class, which has a carrying capacity of 600,000. Capital enterprise ships usually have a permanent population of around 50 to 100,000 people less than what their carrying capacity is. To understand why capital enterprise ships exist, you have to understand a bit about human society during the period that autonomous space takes place. On most planets and colonies, due to advancements in technology and automation, people are able to live comfortable lives where their basic needs are taken care of. Nobody wants for food, shelter, or medical care, and the vast majority of menial and hard labor jobs are completed by automated machines. 99% of people live a life where they mainly socialize, engage in leisure, and advance themselves in their hobbies. The other 1%, however, are those who seek more. Those who want to push human limitation further and engage in the pursuit of gaining a higher reputation. Capital enterprise ships cater to those 1%. It allows them to expand human reach across the stars and fulfill their need for a more meaningful life. And so, these ships serve three main functions in human society. First is protective transport of enormous amounts of cargo over very long distances. Second is fulfillment of mercenary contracts from colonies and inhabited star systems. And the third is exploring and organizing the colonization of new star systems. The original idea behind capital enterprise ships was that they would be completely independent social and political entities, as if they were their own nation, though in our story a few have given their allegiance to larger political entities. In total, there are 14 capital enterprise ships in existence. 6 Nova class, 5 Proto class, and 3 Arc class. The first ever built is known as the CES Fulton, where our story mainly takes place. The CES Fulton is an Arc class that has been around for the last 80 to 100 years. Though its ship design, components, and features are outdated compared to newer models, it is still considered the mightiest capital ship in known space. Though the ship itself is important, what's more important are the people that live and work to keep it alive. The CES Fulton, like most other capital enterprise ships, organizes their society in a specific way. The top authority on the ship is the Governing Council, which is comprised of 5 members: the Supreme Commander, the High Chancellor, the Grand Admiral, the Prime Representative, and the Capital Director. Each of them, except for the Prime Representative, is the leader of one of the 4 corps: the Operative Corps, the Admiralty Corps, the Common Corps, and the Enterprise Corps. We will go into these corps and their hierarchies in a different video. Due to the fact that it is very expensive, labor-intensive, and resource-exhausting to constantly operate a capital enterprise ship, its society is more rigidly organized into an economic hierarchy. This means that though a very basic level of food, shelter, and medical care are supplied to each person on the ship, abundance and luxury flows to those who are considered more essential and useful. And so, a class system exists that at its broadest level is split into 3 groupings. The lowest is common class, people who live on the ship and either have no job or work for some sort of private enterprise, like an artist or a scavenger. The second is enlisted class. These are people who are enlisted and work for one of the corps of the ship. And the highest is officer class. People enlisted in one of the corps of the ship and hold a position of authority over others. Commoners live, work, and play in areas that are more utilitarian. They have access to minimal resources and are afforded the bare bones amenities. Some can, through their own efforts, rise to a better position through trading or doing odd tasks, and hence this class is governed by its own sub-hierarchy. Enlisted live, work, and play in areas that have a mix of utilitarian with some focus on beautification. Food, shelter, and amenities are much better compared to commoners. There is a moderate abundance, and more features to utilize. Enlisted also have access to modest amount of complementary resources that they can use for their own personal projects and hobbies. Officers live, work, and play in areas that are generally luxurious with some utilitarian aspects, but not opulent by any means. They are given the best food, lodgings, and amenities with high abundance and maximized features to take advantage of. They are given a good amount of resources to use for personal and hobby projects as well. They also have the authority to requisition resources, materials, or space from the classes below them. This brings us to our conclusion of the overview of capital enterprise ships, their purpose, and how they are organized. In the next video, we will examine human society, more specifically on the colonies, and how they came about as they did. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.